All right, let's talk about Keir Starmer, the Labour leader who over the last couple of days has been getting a lot of attention. Why? Because he wants to ban oil and gas production going forward. He's surrendered to the Just Stop Oil activists and their demands. Considering that we've already exposed some of the senior figures behind Just Stop Oil and Extinction Rebellion and all the other groups have been donating money to Starmer and the Labour Party, it's not really that shocking. But now he's been accused of helping Vladimir Putin. So let's see how this is actually going to be happening. So this is about Starmer's new flagship program. He genuinely thinks he can win the votes in Scotland and in the Red Wall by making them angry, by telling them that you might actually suffer and freeze in the winter when I'm Prime Minister, but at least we are going ahead with the net zero agenda. So please vote for me. If you believe that this government, the Tory government, have been green, I could make it greener. Yeah, that's a nightmare scenario here. So the Labour chief, the Labour leader, will block all new oil and gas licenses if he makes it into number 10, despite energy prices remaining sky high. Now, the problem with this is that even right now, only 45%, around 45% of Britain's gas is homegrown. Following Starmer's ban, our country will have to rely more on Russia and Saudi Arabia. The same Russia that these politicians like the wokey Keir Starmers are saying, well, this is an enemy, we can't really work with Putin. But now we have to be addicted to oil and gas from places like Russia and Saudi, just like Germany. You remember a few years ago when President Trump warned Germany, saying, you guys are too addicted to oil and gas from Russia, and everybody laughed at him. But the whole point was, it wasn't just because it's Russia, it was because you have to diversify your portfolio. And you have to make sure that you're getting from different sources, especially homegrown. Only 45% of our production comes from this country. We still rely, the vast majority of our production from outside the country to import it here. And we have a massive treasure underneath. So we have people like Richard Tice and Reform UK who've made it their policy program to push for the extraction of shale gas. And of course, with the new technology, it's much cheaper, much safer, and quicker when it comes to extracting shale gas inside from our own land. And the point is, we have so much gas that we're not using. That's one thing. And we've got, again, up there in Scotland, all the oil that's not being used because we have to listen to Greta Thunberg or Bill Gates. I don't really care about what they think. You have to take care of your own country first. That should be first. Now, Starmer is very, very proud of his new idea, and he thinks that he could pander to the young metropolitan middle classes, or the young professionals who live in London or Edinburgh or Manchester, Bristol. But he forgot that his main voter base was supposed to be the working classes in the Midlands, in Wales, in the North, who are not really avocado coffee drinkers. So, he said, what we've said about oil and gas is there does need to be a transition. He loves transitions, doesn't he? He says, not new investment, not new fields up in the North Sea, because we need to go towards net zero. We need to ensure that renewable energy is where we go next. I've already said this when I made the video about the announcement earlier this week, well, a couple of days ago. I said, does he realize that even the foundation of renewables and everything else, during your transition, you still need to use oil and gas? Even for your batteries and everything else. I think that because the whole agenda, you've got the big green lobby money behind it, and all these political parties going more woke, they don't actually understand that one thing is about being worried about clean air and clean water, and everybody's in favor of that. Nobody wants to live in a bad environment. But this is not really about the environment. These are watermelons, green on the outside and communist red on the inside. I've been saying this repeatedly. So, and there's these idiots like Grant Shapps. Oh dear. Oh, okay. Grant Shapps is the government minister for energy security and net zero. Makes no sense, right? He's come out to attack Starmer, rightly so, right? I agree, but there's a problem in his statement. Grant says, In the midst of high energy prices for families, Labour's ideological vendetta against British energy independence not only risks hundreds of thousands of jobs, but strengthens Putin's campaign to use energy as a weapon against the West. Hang on. Let's do a review of the last 13 years of this government. They have not focused on energy independence. They have not strengthened our energy security. They have not used homegrown production. They have relied on foreign sources. They have gone towards net zero. And they have increased the prices. Taxes are going up, inflation up. And he's attacking Keir Starmer for wanting to do the same thing. If we had a government that were focusing on producing oil and gas in our own country, cheaper energy, safer energy, cleaner energy as well, nuclear, for example. If we had a government that was actually trying its best not to completely sacrifice our nation just because the whole global consensus is going towards net zero, then I would believe Grant Shapps. But I don't see a difference much between blue and red. I mean, there is a tiny difference on a technical level. Keir Starmer and the Labour Party want to accelerate net zero even further. They want to do it much quicker. They want to do it by 2030. I mean, that's not even doable. They're never going to do that. They're going to fail. And in the middle of the whole process, ordinary people will suffer. But now we have a government that they're not even listening to the public. They're claiming that they are not ideological. This government claims to be pragmatic. You have your own ideology. You are also going with the global consensus on the green movement. But you're not honest with the public. That's the problem. Anyway, they're all as bad as each other. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.